The next topic that we're going to get into is the NFC East and the AFC East. Kind of seeing the whole landscape of both divisions in their conference. It seems like both of them are the best divisions, really, at this point. I mean, the Eagles, they're obviously on top, undefeated still late in the season. We have the Bills that are obviously a stellar team, top tier team, and they just lost to the Jets, and the Jets have shown that they're a competitive team. Then the Dolphins, too, is really coming into his own against this whole off or against this whole offense. Under this whole offense with McDaniels, and then obviously the Patriots are still the Patriots, and they're pulling out these gritty wins and all these. These teams are all really good, really. So
Look, not only look, they're good, but they also have the records to prove it, right?
yeah, exactly.
When you look at the records, Bills 6-2, Jets 6-3, Dolphins 6-3, Patriots 5-4. Top to bottom, solid division. I mean, you could look at the entire rest of the AFC. You have the Ravens at 6-3, the Titans at 5-3, and then you have the Chiefs at 6-2, the Chargers at 5-3. So four teams in the AFC East compare with the best other four teams in the entire AFC.
Right.
Right? There's no losing records there. They're all in the hunt for the playoffs at this point,
And for the division.
and for the division, right? And they've all played. Have they all played each other at least once?
I
I don't
believe
have the
so.
Bills played the Patriots yet. I don't think so. I think
Yeah,
that's
they did.
okay. So then
Wait, did no, I don't know.
I don't think they have. So, but most of them have played each other at least once already too. So, yeah, I mean, solid division, all around. It's surprising, right? We expected the Bills to be kind of, in a class of their own with the Chiefs and potentially teams like the Bucks or the Rams or the Ravens if those teams could have got their stuff together.
Right.
But for their own division, for everybody to be performing well and getting wins and quality wins at that is a bit surprising. Then you go over to the NFC East, and it's kind of more of the same, right? You have the Eagles sitting there at 8-0, best record in football, and then you have the Cowboys and Giants both at 6-2, and then you have the Washington Commanders is the only team under 500 out of the AFC and NFC East, and they're 4-5, right? So again, solid division, all
Right.
getting quality wins, all in the hunt for the playoffs. Even the Commanders at 4-5, they could easily turn their season around. Do I think it's going to happen? I don't
Probably
have
not.
as much faith in them, but still, as a division as a whole, if that's your worst team, we see other teams that are terrible, right? And yeah, so they're looking pretty good. And then you look at the rest of the NFC. You have the Titans at 7-1. The rest of their division of that NFC North, none of them above 500. NFC South, none of them in the whole NFC South are above 500. And then you go to the NFC West, and you have the Seahawks at 6-3, and the 49ers are 500 at 4-4. So even less good teams in the NFC than the AFC. So yeah, so far these are the best divisions in football. We talked about this before with the whole the AFC West supposed to be the best team in football this year. It's clearly not happening.
Right.
We talk about the NFC West, and they've kind of been in that mix for a while. When they had, the 49ers are good, the Rams are good, so on and so forth.
Seahawks
Yeah,
are so good.
so they're a decent division, but they're not, sitting at the top like they kind of have in some other years where all the games are pretty competitive. It's pretty cut and dry here. Yeah, I mean, look, you have two divisions where only one team is under 500 and they're still good, and they still have wins over the other guys in their division. So yeah,
It's
it's surprising, but we know this is how football goes, right?
nah.
There's a lot of turnover, injuries, With all the influx of draft picks, player development, coaching changes, so on and so forth, teams are able to rise up. And it just so happens that this year, both the AFC and NFC East teams are performing pretty
Right.
well and put themselves in the positions to, make a run at the postseason.
Right.
On top of the fact that both both of those divisions are anchored by maybe the best teams in the conference at this point, right? When you look at the Bills and the Eagles. Um, so yeah, a lot of good football being played there, and when we get later in the year, it'll be fun to watch those late division rivalries and those matchups that we know are gonna be the first, second, and third last weeks of the year,
Right. Yeah.
kind of shape out who potentially wins the division, or
Right.
who's going to be the wild card teams. And we know with 3 wild card spots up to grab, it's even more interesting as teams can be knocking each other out or
Yeah.
putting themselves in and so forth.
It gives a good reputation for these divisions as well, because for so many years the AFC East has been run by the Patriots, and
Mm-hmm.
then as Brady left and Josh Allen kind of emerged as one of the top quarterbacks in the league, the Bills have kind of run it, and then Miami would kind of be in it, not really, but Miami's actually showing a lot of promise this year. They're showing that they're not only a defensive team, and two is obviously with the weapons of Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, he's able to get things on track. And the NFC East, the NFC East is always up and down. There hasn't been a back to back winner in years. So it's kind of like you never know what you're gonna get, but every team seems to be playing really well. The Eagles, as anticipated in the beginning of the season, a lot of analytical people were saying, "Oh yeah, the Eagles are gonna win the division." Rightfully so. They're on top of the conference. Myself, I didn't have them winning the division. Again, it could be a possibility, just like you said, where towards the end of the year it can shape out where maybe even the Cowboys win or the Giants can come out on top and kind of claim the NFC East again. But this is all to be determined. And again, there's still a lot left football to be played. So we'll see what happens, and hopefully just we'll be able to see more than two of these teams or more than one of these teams in the playoffs.